Good afternoon. My name is Isabelle Teare with the WTJX Newsfeed, and this is Trial Watch. The moment that everyone has been waiting for has occurred this week. We have a verdict in the United States of America versus Calvert White and Benjamin Hendricks. Today, we just heard 10 minutes ago around there that it was a unanimous verdict to find both defendants guilty on both charges. That's guilty on count one, which was honest services wire fraud, as well as count two, which was bribery concerning programs receiving federal funds. We heard this, the jury foreperson stood up and said it had been a unanimous verdict from all 12 jurors when they read it off. When they read the verdict, both Calvert White and Benjamin Hendricks, they were looking right at the jury, but they weren't reactive. They were stern, they were serious, but no big reactions. However, when the verdict was announced, Celestino White Jr., Calvert White's brother, was sitting in the back row. He shook his head. One woman started crying. However, notably, Calvert White's father, Celestino White, and his mother, neither of them were in the courtroom when the verdict was read. After the verdict was read, his mother did come in. However, we never saw his father. His mother was upset. She was crying as the judge and the attorneys discussed certain things. It was a solemn scene. Sorry, just looking at my notes a bit here. An important note: the sentencing for both of these charges. It didn't happen today. The sentencing hearing will happen down the line. The first count of honest services wire fraud holds a maximum sentence of 20 years. Now it's important to know that's a maximum that he's allowed to be sentenced. The second charge of bribery concerning programs receiving federal funds, that is a maximum sentence of 10 years. So we won't hear about the sentences of both of these defendants for a little bit down the road. They didn't give an exact date for the sentencing. However, after the verdict was read, the prosecution moved to detain both of the defendants. And they said they did this on the grounds that both of them were flight risks. And they said they were flight risks because of the potential maximum amount of years they could serve, meaning that amount of years means they may be more prone to flee. However, the judge denied this motion and said that both defendants had proved, seeing as they've been out since their arrest, that they aren't flight risks, that they've been checking in. However, he did give certain conditions, and those were that, excuse me, let me just flip to this page. So both defendants are limited to travel in the St. Thomas and St. John district. They can travel freely between St. Thomas and St. John without approval. However, in order to do any other traveling, they will need prior approval from the court. They also were mandated to do weekly in-person check-ins at district court here at this building. And then finally, they were also told that they would have to undergo substance testing. And this was the end of the case, and the judge closed things out. Again, sentencing, we're not sure exactly when that will happen. There were 3 U.S. Marshals in the courtroom, but they left, and everybody left the room after the judge closed things. The jury was dismissed. We did see a lot of people who had been waiting around during the day there to support Calvert White. We saw several people crying, high emotions today. I also did see his mother go up to him in the courtroom and give him a hug give Calvert White a hug as everyone was leaving. Benjamin Hendricks, I know I haven't spoken much about his demeanor or observations throughout this trial. It's because the only time I've really seen him has been sitting in that courtroom. He's nowhere to be found in the courthouse after when the court is in recess. So yeah, this is the update from today. This is the end of this case, guilty on all counts. Thank you for tuning in with us today. My name is Isabelle Teare with the WTJX Newsfeed, and this, once again, is Trial Watch.